Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here then welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a dedicated foundation review. I don't think I've done one in a long time, but this one really caught my attention. So I have with me today the Lakme Absolute Skin Dew Serum Foundation with Hyaluronic Acid, and I couldn't control. I just bought this off from their website, Lakme's website. I don't think it's launched on Nykaa, Amazon or anywhere really at the moment, at least. When I'm filming this video, I could only find this on their website, which is lakmeindia.com. So let me quickly read through the claims, because when I read the claims, it reminded me of certain like Charlotte Tilbury foundations, and the whole packaging, serum, foundation, all of that really caught my attention. So I'm on Lakme India's website, and let me read what it says. To all our skincare lovers, this one is for you. Introducing Lakme Absolute Skin Dew Serum Foundation. Get the best of both worlds of makeup and skincare with Lakme's newest foundation that is infused with a serum that suits all skin types. Lakme's best foundation, which is infused with goodness of hyaluronic acid and power of niacinamide. It makes your skin feel nourished and hydrated on the inside while making it look flawless and radiant on the outside. This serum in a foundation gives a dewy medium high coverage finish, which is actually true. Spoiler alert, it is true. That lasts up to 24 hours and is curated to cover and care in 12 different shades to 100% of Indian skin tones. Consider it a magic potion. Potion? I think they mean potion, but it says potion. And then we mostly have just instructions. Now this retails for 875 rupees for 30 grams of product. Yes, 30 grams of product. But because I bought this pretty much when it launched, I think I got 10% discount. And it says 12 shades. It comes in 12 shades, and they are claiming that this is supposed to cover 100% Indian skin tones, which I mean, will it really Lakme? But this is how the packaging looks like. Honestly, the pump is already getting dirty and all of that, but it's quite fine. It does not feel cheap, but it also does not feel very expensive. And let's do like a oxidation test. So this swatch right here has been on my skin for quite some time now, and I'm going to swatch or like do a pump. This is the new fresh pump, and this is the older swatch. Let me give you side by side. So it does oxidize, but not like drastic, right? Actually, it's very little, maybe like a 0.5 shade oxidation is what I would say from my eyes. Maybe it's looking slightly drastic on camera, but in person it's very minimal. So oxidation, but in person it's very minimal, so I don't think oxidation would be a problem. And I have it in the shade neutral medium, which I think is slightly lighter. I don't like how it's looking over here, but if this foundation actually turns out really well, I might as well pick up like a shade that matches me well. So now that you guys have that information, let's proceed with application and everything. By the way, I'm wearing this foundation right now, just in case you didn't already catch that, but yeah, it looks really nice. Let's proceed with application now. So I think what I'm going to do is apply primer on one side and no primer on the other side, and really see how well this lasts even without a primer. And of course I'm going to do one side with a sponge and the other with a brush. So the shade that I picked up is in the shade neutral medium N220. I'm not sure how this is going to look like. It looks a little bit dark, but that's okay. As long as it's not light, I'm okay with like a darker shade of foundation. Also, this is slightly on the thicker side. Like when they say serum foundation, like my expectation was this would be really lightweight, low coverage. Actually, I have no idea about coverage, so let's see. But I have a feeling, because of the consistency, that this is going to really give me nice coverage. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you can see how it's covering and all of that better. All right, there we go. So let me start to just blend this out. Actually, the shade is not that bad. It looked a little bit darker, but it's actually a little bit light. That's so weird. I don't know, or is my camera playing tricks with me? Wow, I mean, the coverage is incredible. Let me zoom out so you can see the coverage. Look at that. The finish is also really beautiful. I think it has like a demi matte finish almost. Maybe if you apply like a nice hydrating primer, the finish would be more on the satin side, but with no primer, at least the finish to me looks like a demi matte finish. It's slightly like ever so slightly bunching up on my nose, but this is something that I face with most base products, like not just this foundation, but it's not that bad. Like sometimes certain products can like settle in and like really look cakey. This is not looking cakey as such, but also not the smoothest, but that's okay. Overall, so far with just one layer and with a sponge, the coverage is incredible. It's looking nice. It's looking nice. Okay, I have to prime on this side. So for primer, I'm going to use my NYX Plump Right Back primer. I've been really liking it. It's just so good, especially if you have dry skin, but just make sure you're not over applying. One time I did that, and yeah, it was a little uncomfortable, I want to say. Like I could feel that I have makeup on my skin, so don't overdo it with this primer. But I just want to see like how this performs with a primer. Okay, there we have it. So I have this much product on the back of my hand, and can I tell you, the packaging already feels empty. Like this is my pet peeve with like tube packagings. Even though there's enough product, you feel like there's not enough. Do you guys feel that? I forgot to zoom in, I'm so sorry. Can I tell you, I was a little worried if this would really blend with the brush, because the texture of it is really thick, but it actually blended really easily and quickly. Yeah, I mean, I definitely see the coverage is slightly more on this side, of course, because of the brush, but either ways, even with the sponge side, I think the coverage is incredible. I'm just going to take my sponge and run it over. It's just something that I do whenever I use a brush. Let me zoom in for a few seconds so that you can see the coverage, the finish and everything really up close. So far, I have to say I'm really liking it. Like the coverage is just so good. None of my darkness from pigmentation is really peeking through. Like it has covered everything. No redness, no black spots, of course, nothing is peeking through, even on the side with the sponge. Yeah. So far I have to say I'm really liking this foundation. My blush went beautifully, my bronzer, everything. Just I did not face any difficulty with applying any products on top of it, which is great. Yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit then. Okay, so not a lot of time has passed, but I was drinking water, and मैं generally ऐसे ऊपर से पीती हूँ, and then I noticed कि थोड़ा सा water drip हो गया. And generally when this happens, I like, you know, do this and foundation चला जाता है. So let's check what happens now. पहले तो I'm just going to tap and see if it's moving. I don't see anything. So I was in the middle of showing you that the foundation has not budged and my camera stopped recording. What an insult. And तब तक मैं पानी सूख गया है. So let me like intentionally drop a little bit more water and see what happens. Honestly, I don't see, like generally you can, you know, see like the foundation just कैसे बोलूँ, like bubbling and just melting away. I did not see that with this. Maybe थोड़ा कम पानी था. So let's try that once again. Call me crazy, but these are just some practical things that if a foundation can do, then why not, you know. Perfect. So let me now do this and see what happens. Pehle just take a look. It's not, is it bubbling? I don't see it. bubbling, right? Yeah, I mean, no, it's not, which I'm so happy about. I hate it when like BB creams, tints, foundations just like melt with a little contact with water, which is not happening. So I'm gonna do this. क्या हो रहा है? A little difficult to understand. Okay, yeah, if you do that, then the foundation is moving a little bit, but it's still pretty much there, I believe. Okay, so it is sort of waterproof. I'm not saying fully waterproof because ये बहुत थोड़ा सा पानी था. Yeah, that's the water update I had to give you. Hi guys, so it is currently 9:15 p.m. Let me settle down and give you an update on how this foundation has performed so far. Okay, so the number one thing I really like about this foundation is that it's not, of course it's not extremely waterproof, because if you have water and then you're rubbing it off, of course it's going to rub off. But it's also not like other foundations where as soon as it comes in contact with water it starts to bubble and just basically drip down. You know that effect. I know you have seen it. So that does not happen with this. Also, I don't think it transfers a lot. Let's do like a transfer test actually. Actually it does transfer, but then again I pressed really hard. So, but I have to say this lasted really well. It did fade away from certain places, so I had something really spicy and then I was rubbing my nose like this, and it's completely rubbed off. I can actually see it. Let me try and see if I can show you. Can you see? It's completely rubbed off from here and also certain areas of my forehead, but overall it is in fact really long lasting. Let me give you a close-up. You see, like the marks are still covered even on this side. My blush, I can still see my blush, which is a surprise because this blush does not last very long on me. I can still see my bronzer and everything. So my makeup still pretty much looks really fresh. Of course it has faded from certain areas, and that is of course given. Every foundation fades if you rub it really hard or something. One thing though that I'll point out is, if I'm really being nitpicky, that is, when I look at my skin really close, like up close like this, then I can see that like it's looking a little makeup-y. Not heavy as in it's cakey or something, but it is evident that I have put on like a nice layer of foundation. So maybe the next time I want to avoid that, I can mix my Inglot Duraline or maybe like a moisturizer. I don't do that anymore, but I'm just saying, you can do those things as well in order to make it, or in order to just customize the finish, I would say. Especially this side it looked heavy or evident, I would say, because this side I applied it with a brush and I used a little too much maybe. So that's something also that you can keep in mind. Honestly, you can avoid all of these by doing all of these things where you mix it in with something, or you use little and or you use a sponge. I think that way you would be able to customize. But overall I really like this, and I actually see myself wearing this also. Let me show you like a photo that I clicked. I'm just trying to remove the mark. Okay, so here's a photo that I clicked. This is a bad way of showing you, but I'm gonna insert the picture here, and I'll also probably use the same photo as my thumbnail. And photos are turning out really pretty with this foundation. So overall I think this is in fact a really good, long lasting, high coverage, almost full coverage I want to say, foundation. And this would be good for special occasions, special events where you really want your makeup to last long, look beautiful, photograph really well. Of course it has certain cons which I already mentioned, where I think you can really take care of it. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up my review. I hope you guys liked it, and I know I promised I will do like a little waterproof test when I do my workout, but honestly I am too tired today and I don't think I'll be able to do that. So anyways, I still think this foundation is really good, like I said, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give this video a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel, you can click on the bell notification right next to it. That way you will be notified when I post next, and you can follow me on Insta right over here, by the way. anyway, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Some people